Hi, my name is India, and today I will be talking about is the tragic mulatto the modern day colorism. So my first point is, what is tragic mulatto? What are the tropes? What are the elements? So the tragic mulatto trope was first seen in the 19th century literature, also used in films. She is a black and mixed race woman, and she is typically light skinned and are white passing. This can be seen as Piola in Imitation of Life, Pinky, Passing, and Birth of a Nation. In Birth of a Nation, that is an example of a man, but usually she is a mixed race woman. So again, the definition is the offspring of a European and a black African American. So the character is usually a woman, and she is tragic because she cannot live in white society due to her black heritage. And her acknowledging her black heritage ultimately makes her a victim of social oppression. Now, why does acknowledging her black side make her a victim of social oppression? This is due to America being a race-conscious culture. And this is ultimately reflected in our entertainment/media, where America has this universal belief that black people or black blood was a tragic flaw in white beauty or white society. In of itself, color has no meaning, but because America is focused on political, social, economic, historical, psychological, and philosophical, as color has been giving a meaning, a two order is thereby established, and black skin was considered an inferior race, especially because racism depended on the classification of skin color. The tragic mulatto became a dilemma. She lived in between two worlds where she couldn't just be white or black. She was both, and being black was therefore thought to be less than. So even in today's society, we live in a imperialistic, white supremacist, capitalistic, patriarchal culture. This means that we live in a world where European perception is seen as the majority, as what people want to be identified as, especially because it also is surrounded by the male gaze beauty standards. And these beauty standards are for the predominant gaze, which is the European gaze. Therefore, people equate skin color with characteristics and physical hierarchy. This is a 2023 show called The Baddies. They have presented just something to really get viewers, and they were going to do a club promotion where they were going to do dark skin versus light skins. And this is just an example of how even present day, how there's still a competition, basically like a standard of dark skin and light skin. So in the white European eye view, dark-skinned women are considered vulgar and undesirable because they are dark-skinned and far from looking like a white person. Now, light-skinned black women are considered feminine and soft because they have a lighter skin color. And mixed women are considered exotic and new, also feminine and soft, because they have a lighter skin color, they have a curl texture that is loose, and they also have a different eye color as well. And this is just all due to a desirability complex of the colonized perception, where the ego thrives on identification and separation. Now, in this example this is an example of a mixed woman telling her perception on how it is to be mixed in America. She says that she has this expectation where she thinks that she is the preferred type when she walks in a room compared to darker skinned women. She also talks about how she feels that she's on a throne. She even says that she felt like she was being put on this pedestal where her skin colored and her hair texture really made a difference with how people viewed her. Now, I think this is tragic because people only want you because you look exotic from the first sight, instead of actually looking at the inner beauty. Now, the difference between the tragic mulatto and colorism today is that the tragic mulatto was portrayed as a selfish woman who would give up all, including her black family, to live as a white person. The tragic mulatto were seen to be born to hurt because mulattoes, even though mulattoes were privileged, mulattoes were still had black in them. And because of that, the real tragedy was a white perception of not being able to be all white and not being able to fit in white society all the way. Versus colorism today is when African Americans are meant to be casted, lighter skinned actors are preferred far more than for these prominent roles. For example, Zoe Saldana in 2023 is said to play Nina Simone. Now, Nina Simone is a dark-skinned black woman. In the past, she was really ridiculed because of her African features of having a big nose and a big mouth. And as you can see, her hair is very curly. Is not like, it is not European straight. It is very African American. It's very African. Now, Zoe Saldana, she is a mixed race actress. She has European looks. She has straighter hair, she has lighter skin, etc. Now, for her to play a dark skin role is very disrespectful to Nina Simone, because this is not true to Nina. Someone who is a darker skin tone and also kind of grew up like Nina Simone should play Nina Simone. Yet, people have chosen Zoe Saldana to play Nina Simone. And why? Why is this? It is because who are sitting in these chairs? Who are sitting in these producer and director chair? Film has always, since the beginning of filmmaking, have been a white male dominant career. White men have been making films and have been catering to the white male gaze, the predominant gaze, thus casting a lighter skinned woman would be better for them than to actually cast a darker skinned woman. Therefore, I do believe that even though the tragic mulatto was a stereotype, it was a fictional trope, colorism does still play within the tragic mulatto as it connects to the white gaze, the male white gaze, and it also just connects to the media, the film industry, and how the film industry puts out mixed race people, and also how they perceive darker skinned women.